Wealth begins in the quiet chambers of your mind. Before it appears in your bank account, before it's reflected in your surroundings, before the world calls you successful, it exists first as a thought, an idea, a seed. And like any seed, it must be planted, nurtured, and allowed to grow. You see, the difference between those who struggle endlessly for money and those for whom wealth seems to flow naturally isn't luck, education, or background. It's thinking. A specific, disciplined way of thinking. The truly prosperous understand that wealth is not pursued, it is attracted by the person you become. Everything you earn, every opportunity that finds its way to you, every success that unfolds, is the result of your inner state of belief, clarity, and purpose. You don't chase wealth, you grow into the kind of person wealth is drawn to. You align your thoughts, words, and actions with prosperity, and the outer world begins to reflect that inner pattern. Start with your thoughts. If your mind is filled with limitations, doubt, or fear, your world will mirror that scarcity. But if your mind is rich in ideas, gratitude, creativity, and purpose, it will manifest in your results. Money is simply a symbol, a mirror showing the value you've created in the world. The more you focus on growth, service, and improvement, the more that mirror reflects abundance. Those who rise to great prosperity think differently. They don't waste mental energy comparing, complaining, or doubting. They spend their time imagining, building, and serving. They think in terms of possibilities, not problems. They understand that every thought is a command to the subconscious mind, and that mind works day and night to bring those thoughts into reality. When you learn to think like this, with calm assurance, vision, and faith, wealth begins to arrive almost effortlessly. Opportunities that once seemed hidden begin to reveal themselves. People appear at the right moments. Circumstances align. It's as if the universe itself conspires to help you. But in truth, it's not magic. It's the natural law of cause and effect. You are the cause. Wealth is the effect. If you make it your daily habit to think in terms of value, to see abundance instead of lack, to focus on what you can give rather than what you can get, your entire relationship with money transforms. You begin to realize that wealth is not something to acquire, it's something to allow. It flows to those who have prepared a place for it, in their minds first and then in their lives. Wealth begins long before a single coin is earned or a single opportunity appears. It starts as an invisible pattern of thought. The truth that few ever grasp is that our external world is only a mirror reflecting the internal one. A person who constantly thinks in terms of limitation will live within limitation. A person who trains their mind to see possibility, value, and abundance begins to build the foundation for wealth that feels almost effortless. Everything you experience materially is an echo of what you've already accepted mentally. The mind is a garden, and your thoughts are the seeds. Most people scatter weeds without realizing it. Thoughts of fear, envy, or lack, and then wonder why nothing beautiful grows. The ones who flourish tend their minds carefully. They cultivate gratitude, creativity, and confidence. They understand that the state of their inner world determines the fruit of their outer one. When you begin to think in a way that aligns with prosperity, something profound happens. You stop reacting to the world and start creating it. Instead of waiting for the right job, investment, or opportunity, you begin to build the mindset that attracts them. The world responds to confidence, to purpose, to clarity. The moment you decide that wealth is a state of consciousness rather than a chase for money, you shift from struggle to flow. You begin to see ideas where others see obstacles. You begin to sense connections where others see competition. You notice patterns that guide you to better decisions because your mind is no longer clouded by fear. Every invention, every business, every fortune ever made began first as a thought. The ones who succeed are not necessarily the most talented or educated, but those who dare to think differently. They hold a mental picture of success so clearly that it pulls them forward even when circumstances are difficult. Their vision becomes a magnetic force that draws in people, resources, and opportunities. You have that same power within you. Your current reality is nothing more than the result of your dominant thoughts from yesterday. Change those thoughts, and your future begins to take on a new form. The mind does not differentiate between a vivid thought and a real experience. If you fill it with images of prosperity, service, and success, it begins to shape your actions in alignment with them. You start to speak differently, carry yourself differently, and make choices that align with abundance. This is why wealth thinkers do not waste their energy on doubt or envy. They understand that every moment spent in negativity builds a mental habit of poverty. They choose instead to nurture thoughts of gratitude, confidence, and curiosity. These thoughts compound over time, building momentum just like interest in a bank. Wealth thinking is about understanding cause and effect. You are the cause, and money is merely the effect. The effect cannot appear until the cause is firmly established. When your thoughts are directed toward contribution, growth, and excellence, the external rewards follow naturally. Think of it as tuning an instrument. When your mind is in harmony with abundance, everything you touch begins to resonate with it. The ideas you generate, the relationships you form, the work you produce, all reflect that inner harmony. You don't become wealthy by accident. You become wealthy by design, and that design begins in your mind. The thoughts you allow, the beliefs you repeat, and the images you hold become blueprints for your reality. The wealth you seek is already waiting, but it cannot appear until you think in a way that invites it. Train your mind to dwell on value rather than lack, to focus on possibility rather than fear, to seek growth rather than comfort. The mind that understands this law and practices it daily finds that wealth ceases to be a pursuit and becomes a natural result of who they are becoming. You attract wealth not by running after it, but by becoming the kind of person to whom wealth is drawn. The world rewards value, and value begins with who you are and what you contribute. Most people spend their lives chasing money, but they never stop to realize that money is not the goal, it is the outcome. It is the shadow cast by the service, creativity, and worth you bring into the world. The truly prosperous never think in terms of getting. They think in terms of becoming. They build themselves, their skills, their mindset, and their understanding until the world cannot ignore their presence. Wealth flows to them as naturally as water seeks the ocean, because they have developed themselves into something rare and valuable. The person who constantly focuses on what they can extract from life remains in struggle, while the person who focuses on what they can add to life finds abundance multiplying around them. The law is simple: to have more, you must first become more. Your outer rewards will always match your inner growth. When you develop your mind, your discipline, your understanding, and your service to others, the universe mirrors that effort back in the form of opportunity, success, and prosperity. Every great business, every lasting fortune, every enduring success story comes from someone who first created value. They looked at the world and asked, "How can I make this better?" and then went to work doing it. To become a magnet for wealth, you must think in terms of contribution. Ask yourself each day what you can do to increase the quality of what you give. It may be through your work, your creativity, your problem-solving ability, or your leadership, but it must begin with service. Wealth does not come to those who demand it. It comes to those who deserve it. Deserving does not mean luck or privilege. It means earning it through thought, persistence, and purpose. When you align your goals with the intention to serve others, your influence grows, your reputation grows, and as a result, your income grows. The secret is that wealth is not something you pursue directly. It is something you attract through personal growth. As you become wiser, more capable, more compassionate, and more disciplined, you radiate qualities that others naturally seek. Employers, customers, and investors recognize it. People want to work with you, buy from you, learn from you, and trust you. That attraction creates financial opportunity without you having to force it. This is why personal development is the greatest investment you can ever make. The richer your mind becomes, the richer your life becomes. If you build yourself to be worth more, the world will reflect that worth. You cannot think small, act small, and expect large results. The person who expects greater rewards must first build the foundation within themselves to handle it. When your mindset is centered on growth, your focus shifts from chasing money to creating excellence. You stop asking, "How can I get more?" and start asking, "How can I give more value to others?" That single change in perspective alters your entire financial destiny. The marketplace pays generously for excellence, innovation, and integrity, and these qualities come only from those who have done the inner work to develop them. Wealth is not an external treasure waiting to be found. It is an internal power waiting to be expressed. Every new skill you learn, every bit of discipline you cultivate, every problem you solve adds to your value as a human being. The more valuable you become, the more wealth naturally gravitates toward you. Money, after all, is only a means of exchange for value, and the more value you give, the more you receive in return. Therefore, the path to true prosperity is not through pursuit, but through transformation. When you focus on becoming instead of getting, wealth begins to appear in ways you never expected. Abundance thinking is the quiet power that separates those who rise from those who remain where they are. It is the mental shift that turns struggle into opportunity, limitation into creativity, and fear into faith. Most people live their lives trapped in scarcity thinking. They see the world as a place of lack, where success is limited, where someone else's gain must mean their loss. They compete for crumbs instead of creating loaves. They let envy and insecurity cloud their vision until all they can see are reasons why something cannot be done. But those who embrace abundance thinking live by a different truth. They understand that the world is overflowing with possibilities, ideas, and opportunities waiting to be claimed by those with eyes to see them. To think abundantly means to believe that there is always more, more to learn, more to give, more to create, and more to experience. It does not mean ignoring challenges or pretending that life is perfect. It means understanding that no matter how limited your current situation may appear, there is always a path forward if you are willing to find it. This way of thinking frees the mind from fear and competition. Instead of being consumed by what others have, you focus on what you can become. You stop asking, "Why can't I?" and start asking, "How can I?" That single shift in questioning transforms your entire approach to life and success. When you think in terms of abundance, you start to notice opportunities that others overlook. Your mind begins to generate ideas, to see connections, and to recognize value in places others dismiss. The universe tends to give to those who expect to receive. If you believe there is more than enough wealth, more than enough success, and more than enough opportunity to go around, you begin to attract situations that confirm that belief. It becomes a self-reinforcing cycle. The more you believe in abundance, the more abundance you create. This is not magic. It is the natural effect of an open, confident, and proactive mind. Scarcity thinking leads to fear-driven actions. People hoard, they hesitate. They protect what little they have because they believe there will never be enough. This mindset repels growth and opportunity. In contrast, abundance thinking encourages generosity, creativity, and expansion. You become more willing to share ideas, help others, and take calculated risks, knowing that giving does not deplete you. It multiplies your returns when you focus on adding value, not guarding possessions. The flow of wealth and opportunity expands naturally around you. Abundance thinking also changes how you see failure, where scarcity thinkers see the end. Abundance thinkers see information lessons that bring them closer to success. Every obstacle becomes a teacher, every mistake a step forward. This mindset keeps you in motion when others give up. It keeps you growing when others retreat. You begin to trust that life is unfolding in your favor, even when the results are not immediate. Patience becomes easier because you understand that growth takes time but always produces fruit for those who persist. When you adopt abundance thinking, you begin to attract people with the same energy. Relationships improve, ideas flow freely, and collaboration replaces competition. You see that helping others succeed never diminishes you. It strengthens the entire network you are part of. The wealthiest individuals on earth understand this principle deeply. They build communities, empower teams, and invest in others because they know that success expands when shared. To live with abundance thinking is to walk each day with gratitude and faith. Gratitude for what you already have and faith that more is on the way. The mind that constantly counts its blessings multiplies them, while the mind that counts its losses invites more of them. When you learn to see the world as a place of endless possibility, you step into a flow of prosperity that feels natural and unstoppable. The journey to wealth begins with a single decision to take control of your mind. Your thoughts are the architects of your future. Everything you experience is the result of patterns you have established within yourself long before they appeared in your external world. Most people drift through life, letting circumstance, opinion, and fear dictate their reality. They wait for opportunity to knock, for luck to appear, for someone else to open the door. But those who achieve true prosperity understand that wealth is not found outside, it is cultivated within. The mind that is disciplined, focused, and confident becomes a magnet for success, attracting the circumstances, people, and opportunities necessary to bring wealth into reality. The first step is clarity. You must know exactly what you want, not vaguely, not in passing, but with precision. A mind that is unclear will generate scattered results. A person who can articulate a clear vision of the life they desire is already halfway to achieving it. Clarity shapes decisions, priorities, and actions. It filters distractions and channels energy toward results. When your thoughts are aligned with purpose, the world begins to respond. Opportunities that once seemed hidden now appear. Doors open seemingly by chance, and the path forward becomes visible. Next comes belief. To attract wealth, you must believe it is possible and that you deserve it. Doubt is the enemy of progress. People who think wealth is only for others create an invisible barrier between themselves and opportunity. But those who cultivate unshakable faith in their potential open themselves to the flow of abundance. This belief is not arrogance. It is confidence rooted in preparation, effort, and self-knowledge. The mind that expects success shapes actions that generate it, and over time, belief becomes reality. Action is the bridge between thought and result. Thinking alone will not produce wealth, but thinking followed by consistent, focused action will. Every step you take, every choice you make compounds over time. Wealth is not the result of isolated efforts. It is the sum of discipline, intelligent actions aligned with purpose. People who achieve natural prosperity understand the importance of momentum. Small, steady steps repeated daily eventually build results that seem exponential. The key is persistence, even when progress is not immediately visible. The way you respond to challenges determines how quickly and easily wealth comes to you. Those who see obstacles as opportunities to learn to adapt and to improve develop resilience that attracts success. Scarcity thinkers see setbacks as reasons to quit, to protect, to withdraw. Abundance thinkers see the same events as information, as lessons that sharpen judgment and increase capability. Resilience, adaptability, and problem-solving are invisible assets that wealth naturally gravitates toward. Surrounding yourself with the right influences amplifies your results. The people, environments, and ideas you expose yourself to shape your thinking. A mind exposed to excellence, innovation, and growth absorbs those qualities, while a mind immersed in negativity, doubt, or stagnation reflects them outwardly. Those who achieve prosperity intentionally seek mentors, peers, and environments that reinforce their values and elevate their performance. Finally, gratitude and generosity are the forces that sustain abundance. A mind that constantly notices what it already has opens doors for more. Wealth flows effortlessly to those who appreciate the present and invest in others' success. By giving value freely, you create a cycle of reciprocity that multiplies your own opportunities. When you combine clarity, belief, action, resilience, positive influence, and gratitude, you cultivate a mental environment where wealth is not forced, struggled for, or fleeting. It arises naturally as a reflection of who you have become. True wealth is not a matter of luck, inheritance, or circumstance. It begins with the way you think. Every great fortune, every lasting success, every life of abundance begins with a single thought, repeated, nurtured, and acted upon. Most people live under the illusion that money and opportunity must be chased, hunted, or begged for. They focus on the outcome, the visible reward, and in doing so, they often miss the one place where wealth is first created, the mind. The thoughts you allow, the beliefs you accept, and the images you carry in your consciousness are the foundation for every result you will ever experience. A disciplined, positive, and growth-oriented mind is the fertile soil in which wealth takes root. The first principle is to recognize the power of your own thinking. Your mind is like a radio transmitter, sending signals to the world around you. The frequency you choose determines what you attract. Thoughts of fear, scarcity, or envy emit signals that draw limitation, delay, and struggle. Thoughts of opportunity, confidence, and creativity draw circumstances, people, and ideas that reflect abundance. Wealth is not a matter of luck or timing. It is a reflection of the quality of your thoughts over time. When you train your mind to think in terms of possibility and value, you align yourself with the natural laws that bring prosperity. Next comes focus. Clarity of purpose and concentration of effort magnify your results. Many people spread themselves too thin, chasing every new trend, opportunity, or shortcut that appears. This scattering of energy produces scattered results. The individual who becomes naturally wealthy concentrates on their goals, hones their skills, and dedicates their energy to high-value activities. They understand that time and attention are finite resources, and they invest them wisely. Focus allows your mind to see patterns, to recognize opportunity, and to act decisively when the right moment arrives. Action is the bridge between thought and reality. Thinking alone will not produce results, but thinking accompanied by consistent, intelligent action inevitably does. Every step, no matter how small, compounds over time when directed toward a clear goal. Wealth grows through persistent effort, repeated daily, guided by purpose and intention. The person who achieves natural abundance does not wait for motivation. They act because they understand that consistent effort shapes destiny. Action aligned with thought transforms possibility into reality. Attitude toward challenge is another key element. Those who view obstacles as threats will experience fear, hesitation, and delay. Those who see obstacles as lessons, information, and opportunities to improve develop resilience that attracts success. Every setback becomes a stepping stone. Every mistake provides insight. The mind that embraces challenges with curiosity and courage learns faster, adapts more effectively, and positions itself to capture greater rewards than those who avoid difficulty. The company you keep shapes your outcomes. Surround yourself with people who inspire challenge and elevate you. The environments you inhabit, the books you read, the ideas you expose yourself to, all of these mold your thinking and, by extension, your results. Wealthy thinkers deliberately surround themselves with excellence. They learn from mentors, collaborate with high performers, and seek environments that reinforce abundance thinking. Finally, gratitude and generosity amplify wealth. A mind that recognizes the value already present in life naturally attracts more. By serving others, sharing knowledge, and contributing value, you create a cycle of reciprocity. Wealth is not only the accumulation of money, but the flow of value between you and the world. By thinking in terms of growth, service, and opportunity, and by coupling thought with focused action, challenges become manageable, opportunities become visible, and wealth begins to arrive as a natural result of who you have become. Wealth is not something that appears by accident. It is the natural outcome of a certain way of thinking, a specific alignment of beliefs, habits, and actions. Most people spend their lives reacting to circumstances, letting fear, doubt, and limitation dictate their results. They wait for opportunity, for luck, for someone else to open the door. But those who achieve lasting prosperity understand that the door opens from within. The mind that is disciplined, focused, and attuned to growth becomes a magnet for opportunity. Wealth flows not because it is pursued directly, but because it is drawn to the person who is prepared to receive it. The first step is to cultivate clarity of purpose. You must know exactly what you want, not vaguely or in passing, but with precise vision. Without clarity, action is scattered, energy is wasted, and opportunities pass unnoticed. A clear vision focuses the mind, guides decisions, and creates momentum. When your thoughts are aligned with a definite goal, your subconscious begins to work in your favor. You begin to notice patterns, people, and situations that support your aim. The clearer your mental picture, the more natural the flow of wealth becomes. Belief is equally critical. To attract prosperity, you must believe it is possible and that you are capable of achieving it. Doubt is a silent thief that undermines effort before it even begins. People who think that wealth is only for others erect invisible barriers between themselves and opportunity. The person who cultivates unshakable faith in their abilities opens themselves to the flow of abundance. Belief is not wishful thinking, it is confidence rooted in preparation, persistence, and self-knowledge. The mind that expects success generates actions that produce it, and over time, belief becomes reality. Action bridges the gap between thought and result. Wealth is not created by idle dreaming, but by focused, intelligent effort. Every step, repeated consistently, compounds into results. Small, disciplined actions taken daily accumulate into opportunities, connections, and achievements that appear exponential over time. Those who achieve natural prosperity understand the importance of momentum. They persist when others hesitate, continue when others quit, and focus on the tasks that yield the highest value. Action aligned with clarity and belief transforms potential into tangible results. Resilience and adaptability are essential to maintaining the flow of abundance. Challenges are inevitable, but they do not define your trajectory. Scarcity thinkers see obstacles as roadblocks. Abundance thinkers see them as lessons. Each setback provides valuable information, a chance to refine strategy and improve performance. Those who embrace challenges with patience and curiosity develop strength and skill that naturally attract opportunity. Wealth gravitates toward those who are prepared, adaptable, and unshaken by temporary setbacks. The influences you surround yourself with shape your results. The people you spend time with, the ideas you expose yourself to, and the environments you inhabit all affect your thinking and your actions. Those who cultivate prosperity intentionally seek mentors, peers, and surroundings that inspire excellence and growth. The energy and mindset of those around you reinforce your own patterns, accelerating your path to success. Gratitude and generosity complete the cycle of natural wealth. A mind that recognizes and appreciates what it already has creates space for more. Generosity multiplies opportunity, strengthens relationships, and opens doors that would otherwise remain closed. By focusing on adding value, by thinking in terms of growth and contribution, and by taking consistent action with clarity and belief, wealth emerges as a natural reflection of who you have become, the actions you take, and the value you create in the world.